And you have come to part 2 of chapter 13. Here in this photograph, we have a picture. It is titled Washington Crossing the Delaware. On a winter night in 1776, Washington led his troops across the Delaware River to New Jersey. There, in the Battle of Trenton, they defeated the German mercenaries to win a key early Patriot victory. 13.6 Different War Strategies. The British and the American armies used different war strategies. Each tried to use its strengths. The British fought an offensive war. They attacked the Continental Army. Their aim was to control key cities and the countryside. The Continental troops fought a defensive war. Their goal was to protect themselves from attacks by the British Army rather than to destroy it. At first, the British tried to end the war quickly. They won the Battle of Bunker Hill near Boston in June 1775. They kept control of Boston, the city they thought was the main Patriot stronghold, but they soon learned that the men across the colonies would fight for independence. In August 1776, the British took control of New York City after the Battle of Long Island. Washington moved his men into the countryside. From there, the Continental Army used tactics. Tactic is a planned action such as a way of moving or using troops aimed at reaching a certain goal. Not common for that time. Patriot troops made surprise attacks on small groups of British soldiers and then retreated. Sharpshooters hid in the woods and shot British soldiers. These tactics puzzled British troops who preferred to meet their enemy face to face. So the British changed their strategy. They tried to use their better trained troops to openly engage Washington's troops in battle. But one night in December 1776, Washington sneaked his troops across the Delaware River from Pennsylvania to New Jersey. There, in the Battle of Trenton, they surprised and defeated German mercenaries who were celebrating Christmas. This was a key early Patriot victory. By 1777, the British generals were determined to force Washington's army into the open. To do this, the British took the key city of Philadelphia. But Washington wanted to protect his soldiers. Rather than risk losing men in a direct battle, he let the British take the city. He then moved his men to Valley Forge to train and to avoid the British for the winter. This location was easy to defend. It was also close enough to York, Pennsylvania, to protect Congress as it met there. 13.7 The Continental Army gains allies. Patriot leaders needed allies to win the war. In 1776, Congress had sent Benjamin Franklin to Paris, France, to seek help. France agreed to supply arms and to loan money to Congress. Some European soldiers also joined the Patriot cause. A 19-year-old Frenchman, the Marquis de Lafayette, became a general in the Continental Army. Baron Friedrich von Steuben, a German soldier, played a key role in training colonial troops. In mid-1777, about 9,000 British troops crossed the border from Canada. About 2,000 Vermont and New Hampshire soldiers attacked them. Other Continental troops rushed to help. That October, with his army trapped at Saratoga, New York, British General John Burgoyne surrendered to American General Horatio Gates. The Battle of Saratoga was a turning point in the war. A turning point is an event that leads to a dramatic change. The colonists had defeated British troops. France now sent troops and ships to help the colonists. Spain pledged to support France. Since Dutch merchants were trading with the Americans, Dutch banks loaned the Americans money. The Continental Army now had strong allies. The British again tried a new strategy. For the next 3 years, they fought in the southern colonies where Loyalists would help them. But the war did not go well there for Great Britain. In 1781, Spain captured a British fort at Pensacola, Florida. And this picture here at the right, at Saratoga, the Continental Army defeated British troops. The Battle of Saratoga in October of 1777 was a turning point for the war. Then that summer, a large British force marched to the Virginia coast, but the French Navy stopped enemy ships from bringing the British support from New York, and Washington's army and thousands of French soldiers arrived from the north. They trapped the British in the port of Yorktown. For more than 2 weeks, they pounded the British with cannon fire. Finally, British Lieutenant General Charles Cornwallis surrendered. The Battle of Yorktown was the last big battle of the war. With the help of their French allies, the Continentals had won a key victory. 13.8 The Treaty of Paris, 1783. After their defeat at Yorktown, the British were ready to end the war. They were now fighting France and Spain as well as their former American colonies. Representatives from these countries met in Paris to work out a peace treaty. Meanwhile, the fighting went on. The British Navy shut down American shipping on the seas. On land, the British still controlled New York City, Charleston, South Carolina, and Savannah, Georgia. To the west, small but bloody battles were fought in Ohio, Kentucky, and western New York. Continental soldiers fought against the British soldiers, Loyalists, and American Indians. Villages were burned. Women and children on both sides were killed. Here's a timeline of the key events of the American Revolution. Here you can see the key cities that are featured, where there were American victories shown with stars, and British victories shown with red squares. In September 1783, the war finally ended with the Treaty of Paris. In this set of agreements, Great Britain agreed to recognize the United States of America as an independent nation. Great Britain also gave the new country a huge amount of land. This included all the territory that was east of the Mississippi River, south of Canada and the Great Lakes, and north of Florida. This area included land that the British had promised to American Indians. The British kept control of their lands in Canada, but returned Florida to Spain. In this treaty, the United States promised to restore the rights and property of Loyalists, but many of the new nation's citizens did not keep this part of the agreement. This caused thousands of Loyalists to flee to Great Britain, Canada, and other places. Many African Americans who had fought for the British also escaped to other countries. The Patriots had won the war. From this time forward, the former colonists would be known simply as Americans. Summary. In this chapter, you learned how the colonists defeated the British to become a new country. You compared the war to a game of tug-of-war between two unequal teams. The weaker side won because of some special advantages. The Continental Army and Navy were weaker than those of the British, but unlike the British, the Continentals were fighting at home. They had a stronger motivation to win, and they could fight a defensive war. In contrast, the British had to try to control large amounts of territory, as well as defeat the Continental Army. When the Continentals won the Battle of Saratoga, powerful allies joined them. In the decisive Battle of Yorktown, French soldiers and ships helped the Continentals defeat the British. The Treaty of Paris recognized American independence. It also gave a huge amount of land to the United States. How did the widespread fighting affect Americans who were not in the military forces? What happened to groups of people such as women, African Americans, and American Indians? Read on to find out. And that is the end of part 2 of chapter 13. Please go into Schoology to take the quiz. Thank you.